Hi everyone, this is Nicholas Cleve with BuildingYouthLeadership.com. I'm here today to share with you the 5 biggest tips to succeed as parents. Now, I think we can all agree that parenting is a challenging job. It takes a lot of time, work, and energy to be successful. Another job that comes to mind when I think about parenting is building. There are a lot of different kinds of builders out there. And one thing I know about builders is that in order to be successful, they need special tools to get the job done. I'm standing here in the middle of this job site with this partially completed building, and one thing I know is when the builder started to build this structure, they didn't show up the first day and say, "Oh, I'm ready to start building," and have nothing but their bare hands. No way. They needed special tools in order to get the job done. Parenting is no different. In order for us to be successful as parents, we have to have special tools, the right tools, in order to get the job done, which is to be successful as parents by raising our children to be successful, happy, and to where they can strive to be the best that they can as they grow up. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be sharing with you 5 critical tools that you need, and these tools are the 5 tips to succeed as parents. So before I really dig into talking about the tools, we should take a look at my parenting toolbox, and that's where I'll be getting the parenting tools that I'll be sharing. So let's go ahead and take a look at the first tool that we need. Now, the first tool we need is to create parenting systems. Let me go ahead and put that up on my board. So, create parenting systems. What in the world am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about having routines set up. I know there's some people say, "Oh, routines are so boring, Nicholas. How can I do routines?" Well, let me tell you something. In my years working with children over the years, I know that children thrive on routine. It really does help them. It really helps to create an environment where it's organized and they feel secure. And what's the alternative? Chaos, where kids are running around all amuck and doing whatever they want, and it just gets really messy. And so parenting systems is important to have. For example, do your children know what they do when they get up in the morning? Do they have a certain routine? Or when they're going to bed, do they know exactly what they need to do? The steps that they need to do, whether it be brush their teeth or turn down their bed, get their pajamas on, whatever they need to do. Maybe evening chores, whatever they need to do. Another thing when I'm talking about parenting systems is when we look at how we react to behaviors. Now, our kids are going to misbehave. And do we have systems in place for how we react to it? Do we fly out the handle and just start yelling every time our kids misbehave? Or do we have specific systems in place where we know how to react to those behaviors? Whenever we kind of know beforehand how we're going to react, let me tell you, we set ourselves up for so much more success as parents. So creating parenting system is really important, y'all. The next tip or the next tool that we're going to be talking about is to have gratitude. Now, when I'm talking about have gratitude, this tool is pretty important because it's really important that we don't take our children for granted. Let me tell you, our children aren't perfect. They're going to make mistakes. There's going to be days where we're going to feel like we're going to want to pull out our hair. But still, I think that our children are pretty special. I don't care if they're a newborn baby or all the way up to age 18 or even older. They're pretty special. And so it's really important to be thankful for what we have and not to take it for granted. And another thing is life is short. I'm not guaranteed tomorrow, you're not, and your children aren't guaranteed tomorrow. So it's really important that we live for today. The next parenting tool that we must use is to find a balance in our life. Find a balance. Now, when we're talking about find a balance, y'all, what I'm talking about is our life cannot just revolve around our children. It really can't. But on the same note too, it can't just be all revolving around us either. It just can't be about me, 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 me. There's got to be some sort of balance when it comes to parenting. You know, and I realize, y'all, we're struggling and we're had the challenge of trying to balance a whole lot of things when it comes to career, spouses, spending time with our children, dealing with daily tasks and chores around the house, keeping up a household, trying to eat healthy and exercise. There's a whole lot of things where we're faced when it comes to trying to get everything done and try to keep things balanced. But let me tell you, when you have those things in balance, you parent a whole lot better. I know there's been times in my life where I'm a professional teacher, and I have had times where I've put so much focus on teaching where my family has suffered, and I have to really push myself to try to get things back into balance and to look at my priorities and to try to balance out my life. And I'm so much happier when I do that, and my family is better off. I parent better. Another thing where I haven't put in enough balance and enough priority in is when it comes to healthy eating and exercising. And let me tell you, I know how important that is. And I've had my years with ups and downs in that, but that's something I'm still struggling and still working on trying to incorporate into my life. And so, but when you have these things in balance and you're incorporating all these things, let me tell you, you parent that much better. The next tool that we must have as parents is to ask for help. We absolutely must ask for help when we need it. I think of the old African proverb, it takes a village to raise a child. And it really does. It does take a village to raise a child. And there's no shame in if you need to ask from family members help or friends or co-workers. There's nothing wrong with that. And even if you have to pull from some more advanced help, from more specialized help, if there's problems going on, whether it be a counselor or a therapist or a religious leader in a church, let me tell you, there's nothing wrong with that. I know years ago my wife and I went through special counseling with the pastor in our church for a 6-week series, and let me tell you, it saved our marriage. And so there's nothing wrong with reaching out and asking for help when families need it and when parents need it. That's okay. And when we ask for help, we parent so much better. Now, the final parenting tool that we must incorporate is the teach leadership values. Now, this is a big one. This is a very big one, everybody. I have parents say to me, what are you talking about, leadership values? Where do I begin? Or do I teach this or that? Or where do I even begin teaching leadership values to my children? Well, what I've done because of the need is I've developed a special leadership model that focuses on the most important leadership values. What I call this is the leadership kit. It's a leadership kit model. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you the most important leadership values that I think are critical for you to teach your children. Okay. The first one is L for listening to others. All right. It is absolutely critical that we teach that skill. Another value that we should teach, enthusiasm. Next up, we have A for teaching attitude and how to have a positive attitude in life. Now, the D in Leadership Kit stands for decision making. We have got to focus on how to teach our children how to make decisions, good decisions, and just to make decisions. It sometimes comes down to should I play soccer or football, or putting priorities in life. Just like it's important for us to find balance in life, kids sometimes have to make tough decisions as well. The next one is E for effort. It is critical that we teach our children to put effort in life in all that they do. And it's going to help them be so much more successful if they learn the importance of putting effort and doing the best job in all that they do. R for responsibility. Can't tell you how important it is to have responsibility in children when they're growing up. That is a critical value for us to model to our children and to instill in our children as they're growing up. The next one is sensitivity to differences. We're all different. The world's full of a lot of different people, and that's okay that we don't all look the same, talk the same, act the same. That's okay. The world's full of different people, and that's what makes the world go around. The next one is helping others. It's critical that we teach our children the importance of helping others and giving back, because that's another way of how we make the world go around, is by lending a hand, helping others, whether it be around the house or helping in a community with volunteering. The next one is imagination, and that's where trying to really develop our children's creativity is so critical. The next one is P for people skills. Do our children know how to shake hands, how to make eye contact, how to talk to adults, how to engage in conversation with people? It's critical to their success. Now, so we have leadership set up here. Now let's move on to the KIT part of leadership kit. K for kindness. Boy, I tell you, it's so important to be kind to other people, because we have a whole lot of people spreading meanness and hatred out there in the world. And in order to truly change the world and make the world a better place, it's so important for us to instill into our children this sense of spreading kindness. I for improvement. That's the next value. This comes down to teaching our children to constantly improve themselves, whether it be to develop their academic skills or their health, their body and their health, developing that, constantly trying to improve themselves to be better, to say, am I better today than I was yesterday? That's really what it comes down to when I'm talking about improvement. And T for thankfulness. What I'm doing when I'm talking about thankfulness is I'm talking about having gratitude, being thankful for what you have. Boy, I tell you, I meet a whole lot of kids out there who are very ungrateful and almost selfish when it comes to what they have, and just have no appreciation for life or what they have. And boy, it's so important that we develop that thankfulness in our children, because it's going to have them grow up being humbled and to being appreciative for what they have. So if you do want to know more about the leadership kit model that I have developed, do check out buildingyouthleadership.com and sign up for my email leadership club. That will give you instant access to a 15-part video series where I cover the leadership kit model more in depth. I do want to thank you for your time. If you found that something in this video helped you, do click like and share some information. I want to thank you for your time, and remember, inspire greatness in your children. Thank you.